Hey, DemonDriver here. Well, you guys like the RC Airliner assembly line videos, so here's another one. And here are 3 BAC One-Elevens, the beautiful British aircraft airliner from the 1960s. And here they are, 3 scratch-built, my scratch-built BAC One-Eleven. Here's my old faithful BAC One-Eleven 200 Mohawk Airlines, BAC One-Eleven Super-One-Eleven 500 from British European Airways, and last but not least, old American Airlines BAC One-Eleven 200, all scratch-built, all handmade. Let's get a closer look at these babies, and thank you for joining me, and let's delve into these planes and let's have a closer look. Well, luckily you guys still love the RC Airliners, so you want more, I'll give you more. So here we go. We got 3 scratch-built handmade BAC One-Elevens. Like I said, we got a 200 BAC One-Eleven, American Airlines, circa about mid-1960s, about 66, 67. And to be honest, my favorite of the 3, British European Airways BAC One-Eleven Super One-Eleven 500. And last but not least, Old Faithful BAC One-Eleven Mohawk Airlines 200. Let's get up close and personal. Let's take a look at these girls. Now, 7 years ago I made this girl here on this channel. Well, I built her 7 years ago. I think I made her in 2011. You know what's so funny about this particular BAC One-Eleven? Okay, let's have a look at the BAC One-Eleven 200 Mohawk Airlines. Now, this plane I made back in 2011, Kershaw County. Now, a lot of changes has happened to this plane since then. I've modified her nose section the best I can to get it as scale as I can. We have a brand new set of wings, hot wired foam, sanded down, smoothed, 1/32 balsa like the 737s, white styrofoam wing belly, same on all the others, old styled fuselage tube with the plank of blue foam, hollowed out cross-section formers down the fuselage, then wrapped with 2mm depth run. Now, the improvements, of course, of the wing box, and I'm going to change out the engine nacelles and have much more scale, handcrafted, hand-sanded styrofoam, hollowed out styrofoam engine nacelles. These are just plastic bottles painted and shaped. We have new paint scheme. I added that a couple years ago. New livery, a little bit more scale. Now, if you look at all of these 111 wings, there's something you notice that I did scale for the real 111, and that is there's an upward glove or a lip where the wing comes up, if you see that, and that's scale with the actual real 111. And I've done that. So we've got the Mohawk 111 200. Now let's take a look at my favorite girl of the 3, and this is my classic British lady right here, Super-One-Eleven, right here. This is the Diana rig of the 3, baby, right here. 500, the Super-One-Eleven. Now, my British airliner fans, you know this plane, or you should know it. British European Airways with the BEA right in the stripe, classic Union Jack right there. Now this plane has a more scale molded nose, and so does the American. This is a fiberglass molded nose. This is the old original nose, and I've modified it the best I could. But with the Super-One-Eleven, what British Aircraft Corporation did was they lengthened the fuselage a bit and added a slightly longer wingspan. Out here there's a kink, and the wing is probably on the real plane 2 to 3 feet longer, powered by 2 Spey Rolls-Royce Spey engines. They all are. They're just variations of the Spey. So the 111, these planes, I built these planes, believe it or not, about 2 years ago. This 111 and that 111 were built about 2 years ago with my older method of the hollow fuse tube with the backbone carbon fiber rod down the center, and then the former cross sections covered and wrapped around by 2mm Depron sheet. and she's going to have 270mm EDFs with much more scale engine nacelles. We have white styrofoam hot wired wings with 1/32 laminate, 1/32 balsa sheet. You have your carbon fiber rods underneath for strength, and yeah, it's just, God, that's a beautiful plane. T-tail is not hard attached to the fuselage yet. That's still just mocked up. The same thing with the elevator. That's not fully attached yet. I might redo these decals. They were done 2 years ago. They've aged a little bit. I might redo those. Balsa engine pylon. Right in there is a carbon fiber balsa carbon fiber EDF mount. Lower sections, I'm still thinking of using the molded fiberglass lower tail section, but I might just do it out of handcrafted styrofoam. So yeah, that's a beautiful plane. Yeah, I think, to be honest, I love the 500, the Super-One-Eleven, and British European Airways. Man, you can't get any better. That is just, man, that's a good looking jet. And then last but not least, we have our American Airlines BAC One-Eleven 200 classic, late 60s, 67, 68. This was a LaGuardia Airport classic. LaGuardia, Newark, the Northeast, JFK, Philadelphia International. In the late 60s, you would see these planes all the time. This was a hallmark. This was this is kind of what Douglas copied for their DC-9. They just made it. They just improved on this plane, and you had the DC-9 10 and the 20 in 65, 66 when it came out. The BAC One-Elevens came out in 63. British Aircraft Corporation. This is, in my opinion, one of the best British airliners they ever made, along with the BAE 146 and the Vickers Viscount and some other good classics, but this plane is just, these planes were tremendous. The American 111 is basically the same as the it's basically the same as all three. Same things, made the same way. Hot wired white styrofoam wings, laminated with 1/22 balsa sheet, hollow fuse tube, not hot wired. Fully molded nose section, it's much more scale, as you can see. That's a scale nose section, along with the Super-One-Eleven. Now on this side, I haven't added the Thunderbolt. I'm gonna redo the paint scheme with a much more efficient chrome paint. I don't like using. Look at that! Isn't that beautiful? I don't like using chrome monocoat anymore for the fuselages because the plane, they tend to just disappear into the sky. The chrome mirrors the sky, and then you lose the plane, and that's a horrifying thing. Here are all of the servo wires hanging down that run through the tail. Tail isn't mounted yet. Servos are going to rest up in there, driving the stable elevator. There's the red Thunderbolt. I love the Thunderbolt. That is just beautiful. And then we got the other two ladies right there. And you know what's so awesome? I've actually traveled. I have flown on the BAC One-Eleven twice in my life. Once in Allegheny, 111 probably in 79, 80 when I was probably 4 or 5, and then in 82 or 83 when I was probably about 8 or 9, I was on a US Air 111, 200, both 200s, and it was amazing. I don't remember too much. I remember they were pretty small, 4 abreast, pretty cramped plane, but just beautiful airplane. Beautiful plane, and I'm honored to have flown on one. The British really did an amazing job with these planes. Just an amazing plane, amazing piece of British aeronautical engineering. Just a great plane. I can't say enough about the 111. And you know what? They fly beautifully too. If you want to look to build an RC airliner, I would really suggest, I would really tell you to consider the 111. You only need 2 EDFs. Very simple design. The T-tail might throw you a curve and might give you a little trouble, but outside of that, it's just a tremendous airliner. It's a great airliner. I can't say enough about them. And I love vintage airliners. I love, you know, I love vintage airliners. You're gonna see a lot of them from here, from this channel. Hey my friends, thank you as always for joining me for this DemonDriver RC Airliner assembly line BAC One-Eleven, 200, 500, 200, Super-One-Eleven. I think the British outdid themselves with these 111s. British Aircraft Corporation, 1963. These planes they fly beautifully, they look good. They're just great planes. They're really good airplanes. And this girl is going to be back in the air soon. These two are going to be maidens probably in the fall, maybe early next year. But I mean, I know that a lot of you guys just want to see maiden flights. And a lot of eye candy. I get that. But there's a cold, hard reality, and that is, if you don't build the plane, you're not going to fly it. You can't fly what you don't build. Even if it's an ARF or ready to fly, or a kit, if you don't build the kit, if you don't put the ARF together, if you don't take the ready to fly out of the box, and charge the batteries, and test it, and test the CG, you're never going to fly it. So, I'm building these babies by hand, scratch building them, and before you know it, they're going to be maiden. But if I don't build them, I can't fly them. Can't maiden what I don't build. That's just a cold, hard reality. So, what I ask from you is just patience. If you want to become a scratch builder, you have to get patience and discipline. If you don't have those two things, you're never going to be a scratch builder. That's a fact. You need to understand that. So through patience, perseverance, and discipline, I will get this bird back in the air. I will maiden this 111, maiden that 111, and get them flying. Okay? So I hope that a little bit of that discipline and a little bit of that patience rubs off on you, and you're able to use that in your own builds and get your scratch-built RC aircraft flying. Okay? Well, thank you again, and I appreciate your time. I appreciate you viewing this video and you sitting and taking the time to watch the crazy stuff I do. But this is DemonDriver. Thank you again. God bless, and more to come.